answering your questions.
Further expanding on Donkey Chick's question regarding being a, being able to let go of something logically, but being attached emotionally. As all of you know, or many of you are learning about me here on Feminine Spaces, that all of the things I talk about have to do with us as women, the things I've experienced, my girlfriend's experience, the wealth of experience and knowledge that I've gained from my clients, and just common sense. This question to me is so super interesting because, yes, of course, we have an expectation as women that logically we can let go of something, but emotionally it takes us some time. And this little video that I made is in response to what I experienced because I was married before. Now, I was married for 10 years, magnificent husband, one of the top 10 oncologists in the world in his field, right? And he passed away from cancer. I was 38. Now, logically, being a widow and experiencing that moment. Of course, a person passes away, you settle estates, you deal with the mourning of a relationship, you deal with the mourning of the expectations of being someone for the rest of your life. You deal and you process the idea of moving forward and the rest I was 38, so you move on. I had full expectations of being in a relationship again and joining two families because 38, that means you're probably going to meet someone that's in their 40s, they're going to have children, you have a child, you're going to be blending families. Like, I completely understood all of that and made complete sense to me logically. Emotionally, how does that show up? And allowing yourself to release that. Logically, completely in control. Mourning the understanding that someone I love passed away, a relationship for sure. I'll tell you where it came up. And I was so hard on myself because, of course, I didn't even think about this, right? 3 years later, having an SCX relationship with another person, right? My husband, that is not my husband, 15 years, right? You don't think about what does your body know? What do you experience? What you're familiar with when you have a physical relationship, current and new versus what you had in the past. Our bodies, our minds, our spirits become familiar with the people that we're around. And when those people are gone, sure, logically you can move on. But these specific moments that you don't even ever take into consideration, what it's like to touch somebody else, what it's like for somebody else to touch you, that you're learning to get familiar with. My body had a visceral reaction to it. And it shocked me because logically, of course, you're going to experience this with another person and you're having a physical relationship with them. Emotionally, when you've been in a relationship with someone for so long and you're used to them and you experience them, it is a little bit of a jolt when you physically experience something else. So, when I'm talking about any experience that we have, having an expectation that logically we make a decision and move on, sure. And then other times, maybe not. And that's where having compassion for yourself is so important in giving yourself the grace that although in this situation that I'm using, my own personal experience of being in a physical relationship with a new person versus the physical relationship I was in, as an example, in my relationship, my previous relationship with my late husband, and logically, when you have a physical relationship with a new person, it's going to be an experience. You're going to feel so many other things. However, I did not anticipate, and I was very hard on myself for the comparison of one and the other, and how viscerally, my body was shocked at the aspect of doing something that's so natural with a new person. And I was very hard on myself for not just being logically over it, because emotionally, because I hadn't experienced it, it was difficult. And that is what I mean by the difference of giving yourself the grace that whenever you experience a moment and having an expectation that logically you make a decision and you move on. In most scenarios, in most situations, absolutely. In other scenarios, not so easy. So give yourself the time, because your nervous system has a different timeline than perhaps your logical system does. And that's what I meant by that donkey chick. I hope that explains everything for you. And because everything we do here in Feminine Spaces is all about relationship wisdom and self-mastery and conscious living, always through a feminine lens, I trust, donkey chick, that this behind the scenes or answering your questions adds more clarity. Puss, puss.